HaKadosh Baruch Hu commands us in the Torah many mitzvot. But ultimately, the Torah tells us that when the goyim, the nations of the world, will see our observance of Torah mitzvot, they will proclaim, Ki am chacham v'navon hagoy hagadol hazeh. Their nation is a nation of geniuses, of brilliant, wise people, that Hashem commanded them upright laws and statutes. And it always amazes me when Am Yisrael focuses on mitzvot that are between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that of course are important. The Creator of the world commanded us in them. But whenever we focus on something, we end up neglecting something else. L'tzarenu, I feel sometimes that there are certain mitzvot that are ben adam lechavero, between us and humanity, which we neglect. And it's not just that we neglect them, but oftentimes we neglect them in the name of being very observant, especially in the mitzvot between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is Parashat includes in it one of the more important mitzvot of the Torah. It's not the only place in the Torah where the Torah discusses this, but the Torah mentions in the 25th chapter of Vayikra, when you will sell something to your friend, or you purchase something for your friend, al tonu ish et achiv, do not violate the prohibition of ona'ah. Velo tonu ish et amito, and also you should not violate the prohibition of ona'ah between you and your fellow. V'yareta me'elohecha, and you should have fear of Hashem your God, ki ani Adonai Elohechem, because I am Hashem. What is ona'ah? In order to understand ona'ah, we must believe that there are two types of ona'ah. Chachamim say in the Talmud, what does it mean when you sell something or purchase something, you should not lo tonu, al tonu? Zo ona'at mamon. This is financial ona'ah. And in Pasuk 17, the Torah says, Velo tonu ish et amito, zo ona'at devarim. This is the ona'ah between people. So there's two types of ona'ah. Ona'ah between us and others in matters of finance, and ona'ah between us and others in matters of dibur, in matters of speech or action. The best word that I can translate ona'ah, the different English commentaries, do not distress, do not oppress, anything which causes harm to someone else that is not necessarily physical harm. Ona'ah. Ona'ah is an immeasurable type of harm. You can't measure how much we insulted someone. We can't measure how much we hurt someone's feelings. We can't measure how much we hurt someone's reputation. But all of those things fall into the category of ona'ah. Ona'ah. The Chachamim here, there's a Ramban, there's a Ohr HaChaim HaKadosh trying to discuss what about ona'at mitaltelin, karchain. That's not for me today. But rather, every Jewish person, man, woman, child, adult, has a commandment, a mitzvah of lo tonu ish et amito. Do not cause ona'ah, distress, harm, emotional harm, mental harm to your fellow. Anybody. Any human being. In anything that is scary, anything that is terrifying, anything that is hurtful, anything that is offensive. Examples of ona'ah. I'll read you soon a list of examples of things that people do all the time that they don't realize is the biblical prohibition. Playing a prank on someone is a violation of ona'ah. We think it's funny, we all laugh, it's ona'ah. There's a question among poskim whether or not you know that a person likes this kind of ona'ah, whether it's permissible. Many poskim say no. I once heard a chacham doresh barabim about pranksters and their friends and halachot that were involved there. But there's other types of ona'ah. Ona'ah, when we owe money to people and they come to take money, well, you don't want to pay them back. Another excuse. Ona'ah. The collector could also be guilty of ona'ah. All kinds of ways in which to get ona'ah. Hurting someone, offending somebody, doing things that scare them. You know that someone has a phobia of something. You bring it up just to scare them. Ona'ah. Lo tonu ish et amito. We're all guilty of onah. Everybody in their lifetime has violated the prohibition of onah. Maybe a few examples of onah. I'm reading out to you from our parents. Harbel lists here 7 examples of onah that happened. The first, if somebody is a Baal Teshuvah, they didn't always live a life of Torah mitzvot, and now they are. A person is forbidden from telling them, remember those days when you used to do X, Y, and Z? Of course he remembers those days, but he did Teshuvah since then. The only purpose in bringing that up is mishum onah, because we wish to hurt this person. It's forbidden. What kind of prohibition? Anisur deoraita. So what does that mean? Anisur deoraita means it would be better for a person to eat meat and milk together. What do you mean meat and milk? Hot meat and hot milk, eat it together, wasn't cooked together. This is less of a prohibition than, hey, remember when you used to? People do this a lot. I had somebody once tell me, him? I remember when he used to eat tarif. What are you telling me that for? What's the purpose in saying that? It's the Jewish equivalent of, I knew him before he was famous. For what purpose? For which reason? Second, similar. Im hayat ben gerim. If he was a child of gerim, and you tell him, Zechol Maaseh Avotecha, you grandson of an idol worshiper, that's what you tell a person? For what? He's a tzaddik. For which purpose? We wish to harm them. Not to smack them in the face. That's a different issur. This is an issur that's immeasurable. The harm that's done. A third classic case of onah, this is found in the writings of Chachamim. I want to read it to you. Im hayad ger. If somebody was a convert, uval lilmod Torah, and he comes to study Torah. By the way, this could happen, in my opinion, even before the person has actually finished their process. Lo yomar lo, you cannot tell a person, pesha achal nevelot utrefot, a mouth that ate all kinds of forbidden foods. Now you want to fill your mouth with Torah that comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu? You think that mouth is clean enough for the Torah? Onah. The only reason to say such a thing to a person would be to cause them harm, pain, deep pain. Dalit. Sometimes there are tricksters. People looking out for each other. You're looking for a recommendation. You see on social media, looking for a recommendation for a car mechanic. You have some cousin, distant cousin's a car mechanic. You also know he's a crook. You know, doesn't know how to drive cars. Yeah, of course, my cousin, he's the best guy. You are going to cause this person to be in a situation where they'll lose. That is a prohibition of you're setting someone up, maybe not a classic case, but you're setting someone up for damage, for physical damage. Let's say you play a prank on them. You tell them, you know what you want? Go to Vons. You're looking for plywood. Go to Vons. They sell it in Vons. Somebody came from Israel. They don't know. They walk into the grocery store. Can I speak to the manager? Where's the plywood section? They laugh them out of the store. Harmful? They didn't get physically hurt, but emotionally hurt. You embarrassed them, of course. Israelis have this midah meguna, this terrible attitude of yashar, yashar, yashar. Ask directions over there. What are you busy getting me out? Don't answer my question. You don't want to answer me. Don't answer me. What have to be rude for? What's the purpose of being rude? To hurt a person, to show how great you are over a person. The next case of onah, I'm afraid to go to UTC Mall. Not because I lose money there. No, I don't shop anything there. I go there, I have to meet somebody. I go there, there's an Apple store, whatever have you go. I see people in the mall. All of them are Baalei Avirot. What do? What kind of Avirot? I'm not talking about kosher food. I'm not talking about how they dress. They go to a store. They have 3 hours now till their next meeting, or they have a break from work, lunch break, or they're in school and they have a few hours. They come to the mall and they start shopping. What do you mean shopping? They look at things, they ask the salesperson, try them on, get me this size from the bag, this, that, and then in the end they don't buy anything. Onah, it's a biblical prohibition. That salesperson loses money because they're talking to you. You have no intention to buy. And don't start fooling yourself. Yeah, if I was something I would like, I would buy it. I'm not talking about that. People, they go because they have time to wait. Let's go try on clothes. Let's go try on sunglasses and take selfies and put it on social media. It's an issur d'oraita. It's a biblical prohibition. There's a store owner who loses money because of that. There's a salesperson who loses commission because of that. There's somebody who has to get paid to fold those things again, to clean those things, put them back on the shelf. All of that because somebody's an indecent person. I saw today, mamash today, in New York, there was a prankster got on the subway, and he came with a whole bucket of milk and cereal and spilled it all over the floor of the subway in rush hour. Hey, who wants to help me? Nobody came to help him. And then what did he do? The next stop, he just got up and left the train, left the milk there for someone else to clean up. Who's riding the subway today in New York? What they call in American terms today, essential workers. People who need to be out, people who need to be taking the subway to work. Why? They're saving lives, they're keeping the economy going, whatever they're doing. And you, Chamor, you come here and you pour milk on the floor? Who's going to clean it? Who's going to clean it? The sanitary workers, the janitors. So now they should come risk their life in masks and gloves because you had to do a prank on the subway. Maasim b'chol yom. Maasim, it happens all the time. If you're not interested in buying, don't go shopping. Or do what I do. I once had to go to the store. I said, the seller, can I help you? I said, listen, I'm just being honest. I'm probably not buying anything here. Don't worry, I don't make commission. If you don't make commission and you don't mind talking to me, fine, talk to me. But you have to be honest while you're here. People go to Best Buy. I was at Best Buy. I used to have a friend who was a salesperson at Best Buy. And he told me that Best Buy calls the workers, they have a joke among themselves, that they're the gallery for Amazon. Everyone goes to Best Buy, sees all the appliances they want to buy, and then orders them on the internet. You go into a store, you take pictures, you try things, open the fridge, close the fridge, look at the oven, look at the phone, look at the laptop, and then you order it somewhere else. Ona'ah. It's ona'ah. It's not quantifiable damage, but it's ona'ah. Someone who says Lashon Hara about somebody else is ona'ah. Worse than Lashon Hara? Worse is someone who makes up lies about somebody else. Somebody who makes up lies, makes names for them, laughs about them, ruins their reputation in public. There's a Yelp. I don't know if I use Yelp anymore. A few years ago, I was in a store, and there was a lady, we used to go buy clothes from her. Doesn't make a difference what. She had things for kids, whatever. And she's closing her store. Why? Too many negative Yelp reviews. We had a fascinating conversation about Yelp and about algorithms and about, satisfied customers buy something, and the way they show their satisfaction is hopefully they'll come back and buy something new. But the customer that went in and they started haggling with you and they wanted a discount or you didn't want their credit card, whatever it was, they're going to fight. They're the first people, they go, they send their arrows on the internet, on social media, they put on Facebook a review, they put wherever they put a review. And who suffers? The store owner. Who allowed you to open your mouth? With which heter did you speak about somebody else's business? To ruin their parnasah? So what? So now they lost their job? So now they have to close their store? So now they have to declare bankruptcy for what? Which HaShamayim caused this? Which HaShamayim? And you're worried about tiny details and how you make a cup of tea on Shabbat. When ona'ah is rampant in our camps. By the way, Yisur ona'ah, Sefer Chinuch mentions, I believe there's a Rabbeinu Bachai, right? Something similar. That you can do ona'ah with a nifnuf yad, hand motions. You can make a face at a person. You can make a terrifying emotion. Whatever you do, different cultures and different places. You can cause ona'ah to a person without saying a word. It's your body language. It's the way you react around a person. All of those things violate Yisur ona'ah. Rambam writes in Chot Mechira that worse than doing ona'ah is doing ona'ah to gerei tzedek. Those who came to join the Jewish people, the ona'ah against them is threefold. Says the Rambam, Shekol ha'me'aneh et hager, anybody who oppresses the ger, ben b'mamon, ben b'dvarim, whether with money, whether with words, over b'shlosha lavin. He violates three biblical prohibitions. Lo tonu ish et amito, do not oppress your fellow. Umishum al tonu ish et achiv, do not oppress your brother. Umishum veger lo tuneh, there's a separate biblical prohibition of oppressing a ger. Someone's a ger tzedek, they come to a community. I want to see your paperwork, I don't know if it was sincere, I don't know. The person who has the job in the chief rabbinate to start deciding which gerim are good and not, this person, you should choose to jump into a furnace of flames before you take the job. Do you know how many millions of gerim this person is maneh? Ona'ah, it's oppression of a person. You're a teacher, and you have students in your class. He's a ger tzedek. You should think a million times, not 1,000, a million times before you say one thing to them. It's discipline. Think a million times again. They did something wrong, still think about it again. 3 biblical prohibitions. Don't think. By a regular person, there's also prohibitions. But who do we oppress? The widows, the orphans, the converts, all of those people who have nobody else to protect them are the easiest targets, or the easiest prey for onah. If a person were to ask me if they have bad midot, they should just take a Kabbalah upon themselves. Don't speak to people. Don't teach people. Don't be in a situation where you have to discipline somebody. The portion of Am Haba can be lost from that. By the way, the Gemara in Bava Metzia on page 59 says that there are 46 biblical prohibitions that are violated when a person oppresses a ger. 46. The Torah maybe 36, but Chachamim, there's a count of 46 biblical. Not 46 is. Do you know how many meat and milk you have to eat? Do you know how many pigs you have to eat? Do you know how many worms in your broccoli you have to eat? To violate the issue of ona'ah. Ona'ah. But perhaps the worst kind of ona'ah, the Gemara says, Le'olam yeheh adam zahir be'ona'at ishto. A person must be tremendously careful about the ona'ah of his wife. Ona'ah. Shemitoch shedimata mitzuya onata kerova. That because her tears are present, they're ready to come, onata kerova, her ona'ah is much easier to violate. Rashi there explains, lavo meaning pur'anut ona'ata memaher lavo. The consequences, the divine consequences from HaKadosh Baruch Hu are just waiting around the corner for a person who hurts their wife. Hurts. We didn't talk here about beating Chas Shalom. This person should be put in prison. We're not talking about a person who's abusive physically. We're talking about a person who manipulates, who hurts, who offends, who criticizes unfairly. You want a chelik olam haba? Don't worry about kosher. Don't worry about Shabbat. Worry about the way you speak to your wife. When I came to Yerushalayim, and I sat in Harav Peretz's first speech of Musar, first lecture of Musar, and I was expecting what I heard in the olden days. Torah, wasting time, bitulta, wasting time to learn Torah, working too much, studying secular, whatever they complain about. Harav Peretz, the first year I was there. How can you be an avrech in kollel? How could you consider yourself religious with a kippah on your head if you speak to your wife like that? How can you be considered a Jewish man if you treat your spouse like that? By the way, it goes to women too. And I read an article here in San Diego, and there's this free newspaper that comes, La Jolla Golden Triangle, something like that. An old, I mean, she's mamash, maybe in her late, I want to say, maybe her 90s, could be late 80s. She's a Jewish psychologist. She wrote an article, but the number of emotionally abused men in the United States. Abuse can happen in every direction. But ona'ah is now more present, more rampant than anything else. Bullying children in the schools. When you look at Am Yisrael and you say, the reaction of the Goyim should be, Ki am chacham v'navon hagoy hagadol hazeh. These people are wondrous people. The Torah that they have, mishpatim yisharim, beautiful laws. You think about tea bags on Shabbat, the Torah was talking about. You think about whether you wrap your tefillin out or you wrap your tefillin in, the Torah was talking about. Where is the voice in Am Yisrael that brings Musarei HaNevi'im, in the words of Rav Uziel, the ethics of our prophets to the world? What about the sensitivity of the Chachmei Yisrael and the Talmud? Who's going to bring that Torah to the world? We have an obligation. We're right around the corner from Shavuot. On Shavuot, the world lost an opportunity. Am Yisrael snatched the Torah for itself. We were lucky. But the world lost out. The world lost out on those 70 sparks of Torah, says the Gemara, that should have gone to them and perhaps went to them. But the potential wasn't fully actualized. It's our chance to return the Torah to the whole world, to all of humanity. And the way to do that is to begin with mitzvot. Mitzvot that the generation needs to hear about. Mitzvot that can fix the problems in society and to create what Rambam calls a chevra metukenet, a functional society, an upright society. B'ezrat Hashem, let us take upon ourselves this mitzvah. Lo tonu ish et amito. Lo tonu ish et achiv. Do not oppress your fellow. Do not oppress your brother. Do not oppress your sister, your husband, your wife, your children, or your parents. In the Vidui of Yom Kippurim, we beat our chest. We cause suffering to our parents and to our teachers. To our parents. Then we go on and do the same tzar the rest of their life. It's time to do teshuvah. But this teshuvah is not just an individual teshuvah. This teshuvah has the opportunity to bring along with it the rest of humanity under the wings of the Shekhinah by teaching them that the Torah has a message that is relevant and can fix all the ills and all the problems that we're suffering from today. B'ezrat Hashem, I hope to live and see that day with you, every single one of you, with you and your children and your grandchildren. May you all see descendants of your descendants. Shalom, Israel. May there be only peace among Am Yisrael and the whole world. B'ezrat Hashem.